Hey guys, it's the Jimmy Hack channel, and today we're doing a harmonic balancer replacement. Last week I had to do one as an emergency because the one I had on there just about self-destructed. Now I have picked up a new balancer, however it is from the older series Falcon. It's from an EL series. They're a little bit different. I'll talk about what that difference is, but they should still work. Let's go over the tools. We've got this is the AU tool. The older style EL uses 3-bolt system. Voila, some people probably prefer that because that tool there is like $200. So anyway, the only difference that I can see on these two balancers, apart from the different bolt pattern to take them off, is the trigger wheel. You'll see the leading and trailing edges on here are more, they've got like a 30-degree chamfer, where these are straight cut. However, it is the same ECU. There's not much difference between the EC5, I think it is, ECU, so it should just work. So we're going to bolt it in anyway and try it out. If it doesn't work, well, look, I've got to take it back out and put the correct one, which is the HB1462. So this one I've got here is a HB1283. That's off the older series Falcon. Alright, so let's get underway. First of all, you need to take out your fans and put a little 10mm bar on there and release the timing, it's not the timing belt, the bloody engine belt. Let's do that. Alright, so I've just gone under the car. I've got that bar just up here. If I pull down on it, bit of force required. Okay, that'll relieve it. It's nice and loose up there. I can unpick that. Just give me a second to unpick it. Alright, I've just taken it off the water pump there. As you can see, it's just sitting on that pulley. It's loose enough I can get to the harmonic balancer. Alright, so now we've got to get the 22mm bolt out of there. Alright, so I've got my 22mm socket and breaker bar. I'm just about to undo that. Don't forget, we're going to have to take that little dust cover off there and just throw a screwdriver or something in there to jam that bolt to stop the motor from turning over. Alright, so what I'm doing here, there's a bolt in there, a flywheel bolt that goes onto the converter. I'm just going to get this screwdriver, jam it up in there, and then relieve that bolt at the front of the crank. Alright, I've broken that free pretty easily, so now I just put my other socket on and unwind that bolt. Shouldn't take too much to get that off. Alright, that's just about to come off. Let's take out your washer. Now we've got to fit the tool that extracts that harmonic balancer. Alright, so here's the tool. Just remember it's got this front piece on it, don't lose that, that can fall off. So yeah, screw this on. Okay, so just locate this. Wind the bolt in. It's tight, and then tighten it up, and it should start unwinding itself. Make sure it stays on there properly. You don't want to let this go. Alright, I've just dropped that belt out the way a little bit. About to tighten up this bolt. See how she goes, see if the engine moves while we do this. It's moving a little bit, but I can actually pull that balancer off. I don't need to lock it up, so I'll keep going with this. Should take about a minute. It's slowly moving. Alright, there we go, that's a fast minute. Successfully off. Tool in piece. Let's give that a wriggle. Okay, that's it. Just watch the radiator. Okay, so there's one I've just taken off on the right hand side. As you can see, it looks very similar to the one on the left. This one had a bit of a wobble in it, so that's the reason why I'm replacing it. It was a bit noisy. So yeah, I'm going to put this one that's in the center on there now. Okay, so just remember you've got a keyway here. You need to line up this keyway on that. It's actually at about the 2 o'clock position. You won't be able to see it. Maybe just come around, you can see the keyway there. So line that up. Look, you can put this on with a smidgen of oil. Some people like to put it on dry. I like to put a slight bit of oil on it, and then a bit of Loctite on the main bolt, because these things can shake loose. Alright, let's get this thing on. Okay, so I've put a bit of oil on it. I put a bit of oil around the seal and a slight bit of oil just so that it can slide onto that crankshaft journal. Now, you do have to give it a little bit of a tap. Normally you do it with a bit of timber. You're pretty well pressed for space in here, so I just give it a little bit of a tap. The hammer. Get it on as far as you can without destroying it, and then wind in this screw. You want to go on at least 3 or 4 threads, and then it should pick up hopefully and go on its merry way. But you do want to try and tap it on as much as you can, and do not rely on the threads, because you'll strip the threads. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start winding it on. That's going pretty nicely. I'm happy with that. Bit at a time. If you want, you can get that belt out the road. It will come to a point where the whole engine's going to start turning, and that's when you're going to have to get your screwdriver back up the other end, jam the motor up, and tighten it up with a tension wrench. I'll get my tension wrench out in a second. Alright, so there's my tension wrench. Got it set, 125 Newton meters. It's got a Warren and Brown. Had this one about I don't know, 25 years or so now. Alright, we'll put that up there, and we'll start turning it over, winding her up, and all should be sweet. Okay, here we go. The tension wrench makes it a lot easier actually, tighten up the tension wrench. Okay, so the engine's starting to spin now, so I'll have to jam it up. Okay, we're at the point now where it's practically bottomed out, so what you want to do is just check that, go underneath the car as good as you can, make sure the wheels all line up. You might want to have a look from the top, so just come in here and make sure that that pulley lines up. You can see that edge there, it's flush, so you know it's pretty damn close. I actually felt it. You do feel it when you're tightening up, you'll feel that it bottoms out. So now we're at the process now where we're going to put tension on it, 125 Newton meters, or just under about 90 foot-pounds, I think that is. I think it's about 95 foot-pound. Anyway, let's get some tension onto this. Alright guys, we're at a close here, everything's done. I'm going to start the car up now. Just going to get this belt right out the way and have a look at it running and just see how much movement this balancer's got. So stand by, and we're going to start the vehicle up without any belts connected. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. This balancer has no movement whatsoever. It's if I put a dial indicator